Hi, my name is Ryan Kendall. I'm part of the group responsible for talking about Pinterest. I will be covering some history and brief background on how Pinterest works, while my partners will be talking about in depth how to create an account on Pinterest, how to use it, and how it can be adapted to fit educational needs. For anyone who is unfamiliar with Pinterest, it is a social media web and mobile app in which users create what are called boards. These boards are used to link and share websites, images, any kind of web content in similar categories. Categories like fashion, home and decor, education, and some things along that line. Pinterest is used heavily right now by commercial companies such as Gap, Nordstrom, and West Elm. These companies basically use Pinterest to determine what's trending, what they might sell better, and they adjust their inventory, what they carry, and their product development to try and capitalize on business opportunities. In terms of history for Pinterest, Pinterest was first conceptualized in December of 2009 by co-creators Ben Silbermann, Evan Sharp, and Paul Sciarra. The first prototype was launched in March of the following year, so that's 2010. Basically, what they did was they put together a rough version of the app and put it out to colleagues, family, friends, a small sample group of people that they all knew in terms of relativity. And what they did was they put it together to try and determine if this was going to be something that was effective in the layout they had it, and if it was something that people would enjoy using, determine any bugs, things you would use a prototype for. By 2011, Pinterest had gotten off to a pretty strong start. They received a $10 million financing agreement with Bessemer Venture Partners. By October of 2011, the company received another $27 million from outside investors, and that really allowed them to start taking off and getting noticed within the social media circles. At the same time they were given their $27 million investment, the company was valued at $200 million. To show a little bit of how fast the company grew, by May of 2012, the company was valued at $1.5 billion. February of 2013, that valuation increased by $1 billion, which put it up to $2.5 billion. By October of 2013, the company was valued at $3.8 billion. And by May 2014, it is valued at $5 billion. So that goes to show you over the span of roughly 5 years the company has been in business, they've gone from starting with literally nothing and built it into a $5 billion social media industry. I have an infographic that you may find useful that I'm going to share right now. This infographic basically talks about how Pinterest has evolved rather quickly and talks about how the company is advancing with its competitive in social media, things like Facebook, those other social media circles. So here is the infographic. Sorry, my computer is moving slightly slowly. Here it is. Pinning it to consumers' relationship with Pinterest. According to Pinterest's information, 1 in 4 consumers report spending less time on other social media sites in favor of Pinterest. Facebook is down 3% in time spent on in terms of its users over the last month, while Pinterest is up considerably more. 15% of Pinterest users don't use other social media sites whatsoever. Here you see different categories, different boards, what people are pinning: food, home, arts and crafts, style and fashion, products, vacation, humor, travel. And the important one here is inspiration and education, which my other group members will touch on fairly shortly. That talks a little bit about the commercial retailers that are using it. What can a pin do? It drives people to visit sites. It tells you how many page views you have. 50% of orders happen after 2.5 months of pinning, and that's by people who are using Pinterest for commercial needs. Pinterest is up 4% in its users over the competition being Facebook at 37%, Twitter at 12%, and Google Plus at 3%, as well as any others that are at 4%. Pinterest's share of overall visits increased 66% year over year, more than any other social network. So basically, all of this information is showing how exactly Pinterest has evolved and how it is quickly gaining the majority of the market over its social competitors. And what that goes to show is its potential for how it can be used and adapted for other things. For example, education, which my partners will get to briefly. And I thank you for your time.